Hey guys, Cookie here. Just wanted to make another video about a question that was submitted to me via Facebook. This one came in just a moment ago, so I really wanted to get this answered because I feel like this is something I talk with girls a lot about. The gist of it, once again, I have my laptop over here with the question pulled up. So there's an explanation that went along with the question, but for this person's privacy, I'm not going to get into great detail. But basically, the gist of the situation was she had ran into an ex and a group of their once mutual friends when they were dating, and they all kind of ignored her. It was a little weird, and it just made her feel really bad about herself. And basically, the question was, how do I keep remaining positive about being a better me when I feel like there are people who think I'm a horrible person? So a little piece of this is, a lot of times we interact with people, we meet them, and there's this quote I just saw the other day, and it said, people will love you or they'll hate you, and it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes we interact with people, and whether we have a past with them or not, they may not mesh with us, they may not vibe with us, we may get a weird feeling. We've all had that time where we've met somebody kind of in a social setting, you leave, you kind of say to a friend, hey, did they like why were they being weird? I didn't think they liked me. A lot of times, you have to kind of understand everybody's human. And as much as you may try, and as much as being a human, it's important to be liked, have people like you, have people say nice things about you. No matter what you do, unless you're just going to chameleon to whoever you're around, which is really not a happy way to live, you're going to encounter people that don't like you. And it, once again, may have nothing to do with you. In that situation where there was a past relationship, people break up, sometimes it's just awkward. A lot of times, too, if you have mutual friends, they just don't know what to say. It also, I think, sometimes I know from being, running into an ex-boyfriend or things like that, you don't really want to get too friendly because depending on how the relationship ended, you don't want to give them that false sense of like, oh, well, I ran into her, she was really nice, maybe there's still something there, let me reach out to her. So maybe, them being standoffish or being awkward wasn't necessarily a sense of, oh my gosh, I don't like you, I think you're a horrible person. It may have been, A, I'm uncomfortable and awkward, I don't know what to say. B, I don't want to get stuck in a conversation, especially as the ex-boyfriend may be thinking, I don't want to be overly friendly or interact because I don't want to, open Pandora's box. I don't know the details of how the relationship ended, but that would be my guess. I can only speak from my experience of running into an ex. Fortunately for me, majority of my relationships ended on good terms. So I would definitely say hi, interact, but I would be a little bit more guarded than if I ran into somebody that, is a good friend or an acquaintance or something like that, just because I wouldn't want the ex to maybe have the false impression that I was interested again or that avenue was open again when it wasn't. I think a lot of times too, we make the assumption it's about us, and it's not about us. Sometimes we meet people that, don't know how to properly interact with us, don't like us, don't, want to interact, or maybe, and maybe it's not a fact that they don't like you. A lot of things come from maybe they're jealous. Maybe they, are looking at you and going, man, I wish I could have that. And it's their own stuff. A lot of times people have a lot going on under the surface. They may present one way, they may look like they have it all together. They may seem really sweet, really nice, but inside there's a lot of negative energy. And for me, I've encountered as I've gone through my fitness journey, moving through being that really in that negative, nasty place, meeting people that seem like they had their life all together, those annoying fitness people that are like, oh my God, I love working out, it's the best. And I'm sitting there going, okay, me getting up and walking to my mailbox is exhausting. It wasn't that I didn't like them. It was that I wanted to be doing what they were doing. I wanted that enthusiasm. I wanted that excitement for life, and I didn't have it. And I was frustrated. And I wasn't frustrated at them, I was frustrated with myself. So sometimes we meet people that are doing or behaving or living a way that we want to live, or, things like that. And it's real easy to look at the way that they're acting because maybe they are kind of shutting you down, or maybe they're not reaching out and wanting to, have a friendship with you. and make it about you. Oh, they don't like me. Oh, they don't, they don't want to hang out with me. I asked this person at work to go get lunch and they said no, but then I saw them grabbing lunch with someone else. It's me. A lot of times it's not you. And I think once I got to a space that I stopped making it all about me, which was very hard, it got a lot easier. A long time ago, I had somebody say to me, here's a little hypothetical situation. You're in New York City, it's really loud, and you see a friend of yours across the street, and you yell out to them, say friend's name is Kyle. Kyle, Kyle, Kyle. Kyle turns around, looks in your direction. You swear he looks right at you. You're waving, you're smiling, and Kyle kind of does one of these and then just turns around and walks away. Well, what would you think? At the time, my reaction was, well, I guess I kind of worry. Was he mad at me? Why did he not see me? Why would he not say hi? I'd kind of start going through my head and see if there was any reason why he might be upset with me. And it's so funny because I was talking to the friend that asked me that hypothetical situation years ago the other day, and they kind of brought it up again, and my whole perspective has shifted. I was like, oh, well, I would just assume that he didn't see me or didn't hear me. And so it was interesting, and they pointed that out to me as like, yeah, I asked you that a few years ago. You made it all about you. You instantly thought the person was upset with you. You instantly thought the person, saw you but didn't want to wave. It's a really nice feeling when you can meet people where they're at, and realize that what's going on with them has nothing to do with you. And so if you do, run into that friend out in the world and wave and yell and they don't respond, to not immediately make it about you. They maybe didn't hear you. They're maybe in a bad mood and don't feel like interacting. Maybe they don't like you, and that's okay. I think as you build a stronger sense of self and you love you and you know who you are and you're not basing that validation and that definition of yourself by the interactions of other people. I know who I am and I know the things that I love about myself, and that's not based on who's happy with me this day, who likes me that day, how many likes I get on social media, how many followers I have. I don't care about any of those things, because at the end of the day, if technology went away, the world went away, I didn't do this anymore, I would still have myself and I would still know who I am. And that's what matters to me. And I know that it's really a bad feeling when you feel like somebody doesn't like you. It definitely, it's hurtful. I mean, I still get hurt when I meet somebody and I can tell that they're just not smelling what I'm stepping in. They're not liking me. My energy's way too much for them. People sometimes will even say that, like, whoa, your energy is like way too intense, or, oh, you're way too intense. Or they start throwing those little like jabs at you. Of course it's hurtful. I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, well, thanks for not liking me. Bye. It definitely is hurtful. And you do sit there for a minute and go, oh, okay, well, maybe I should dial it back, or maybe I should. No, I shouldn't. It's okay. Everybody in the world is a puzzle piece, and you're not always going to fit together with everybody else, and that's okay. And when you have that strong sense of self, and you know who you are, and you know what flavor you are, if somebody doesn't like your flavor, okay, just because I have friends that don't like chocolate ice cream, I'm not going to stop eating it, because it's delicious, and I love it. More for me, but you know what I'm saying? Be you, do you, love you. And if people don't like that, that's okay. That's their stuff, don't let it make you feel like you need to change who you are, or you need to, adjust or rearrange or vie for their attention. Get to a space where people liking you is awesome and a compliment. I still am super flattered when anyone, messages me and says, hey, I'm such an inspiration to them, or they really like my post, it's really motivating. That's super cool, and that will never get old to me. That's why I do what I do. I love reaching out, inspiring people, having that person look at me and say, hey, she did it, I can do it too. That's amazing and awesome. But in the same token, I also interact with lots of people that don't like what I'm doing. Don't buy into it. Don't see what the big deal is. Don't, maybe don't want to look like me, maybe don't want to be muscular, maybe don't care about being healthy. That's okay too. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because some people don't like the way that I'm doing it. So my advice is also to exes in general, running into people when you have that divide of the friendships. A lot of times it has nothing to do with you. People feel uncomfortable. People don't know what to say. People don't want to seem like they're being disloyal to the, one friend. It honestly has so little to actually do with you. Unless you did something like completely crazy, like burn someone's house down, then maybe they're a little scared of you. But considering you're not in jail and you're on Facebook sending me questions, I think you're okay. But a lot of times it has, nothing to do with you. It's people's stuff. So the best thing that I can do and I can recommend is know you, love you, value you, and as wonderful as it is to have that validation from other people, take the pieces that you like about that, take those positive, awesome people in your life that build you up, lift you up, see those valuable pieces in you, hold them close, keep that circle really tight, and cherish those friendships, cherish those people. And anyone else that doesn't like you and doesn't like what you're doing and doesn't like what you're about, hey, wish them nothing but luck and love and light in life, but don't let it bother you. Don't let it stress you out. No matter what. I think Dita Von Teese, I think is her name, she said the quote, you can be the fattest, juiciest, ripest peach in the world, and there's always going to be someone that hates peaches. So be that peach, be yourself, love yourself, and if anyone else doesn't enjoy that, doesn't like that, you're not their flavor, that's okay. That's life. But know yourself, love yourself, and especially with exes, they're not in your life for a reason. Maybe because most of the time I would assume that things that are of value to you and things that are of value to them don't mesh. So that may be someone that doesn't act or interact the way that you would like to act or interact. So try to remember that, but try not to take it personal. Everybody's got their own stuff going on. I'm sure you're a wonderful, wonderful person, and I'm sure you have lots of people in your life that love you for you, and if you saw them out in public, wouldn't act awkward or avoid you or anything like that. So just remember, love yourself, love those that love you, and anyone else that doesn't, oh well. So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, it's not something that happened for me overnight. Definitely lots of work, lots of self-care, lots of self-discovery, becoming who I am and who, I'm happy with myself. Not saying that I'm perfect, not saying that I'm, this ultimate human being. I definitely still work on myself quite often. I definitely am still getting after my fitness, my wellness, my, health and self-care. But really getting to know yourself and having a strong foundation and sense of self is huge, because no one can crush that. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope anyone else who has maybe gone through similar things, met people that, kind of harsh their vibe and don't like them, and you're kind of left going, well, why? I'm amazing, which is what you should tell yourself. Say, I'm amazing. Why don't they like me? And then keep it moving. But I hope everyone's having an awesome week. Like I said, keep the questions coming. You're welcome to send them to me via Facebook, facebook.com/smartcookiefitness. You guys can find me on Instagram at CoachCookieFit, or you're welcome to email me. It's coachcookiefit@gmail.com. My website, you can go on there. All of my contact information is on there. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I hope that you guys are spending a good portion of today loving yourself and knowing that you're super awesome. So I hope this is helpful, and I will see you guys later.